There we go. I guess it would help if I hit the camera button to show me, huh? All right. Welcome, everyone. Let me adjust this just a tad here. Let me see if I need a light bulb. I don't know if I need it. I'm kind of in the dark. I've got the sun behind me. So let's see. Hopefully that will work. All right. Come on in. Have a seat. Welcome to Fundamental Friday. Today is, so look at the date. I think it's the 9th, is it not? It is. Hang on. Problems with my phone not wanting to open up. And I'm not sure what the problem is. But anyways, I guess it's better. Let me look at my watch. It is the 9th of January of 2026. Let me get the chat open so that we can start communicating with each other. Give me just a moment to do that. And I think I try to have everything ready. So I think I'm good. It should pop up here in just a minute. There we go. So welcome, everyone. We'll get started here in just a few minutes. I'm Dawn Duvall. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up, and I live in Fort Myers, Florida. And today, it started out a little cool, about 64, when I took Miss Rosie out to walk, and it's supposed to be in the 80s or low 80s. And my husband has gone to play golf, so I have the house and to me and the dog, and nobody else is here, so that's a good thing. And anyway, so today is our Fundamental Friday. So we're going to be doing a new technique that I thought I'd show you. And I've designed one card, which I'm going to show you. And then I decided I was going to try something different. So I've got a whole completely different one that I will actually make. If we have time, then I may make the second one, which is really which should have been the first one, but that's okay. So, all right. So welcome, everyone. The chat is open. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am streaming to Facebook as well as YouTube. So if you're on my Facebook page, and if you like my videos, please make sure that you like and then share the video. I greatly appreciate it. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. That helps me to reach more individuals who like what I do. And then hit the bell, click the little bell so that it will notify you every time I upload a new video. And this year in 2026, I am going to do my videos a little bit differently. I'm going to focus a month at a time on certain projects. Now that's normal videos, not the Fundamental Friday. So every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will do a video, and we're now going to start doing either one-sheet wonders or a sketch. I'm finding by looking at the analytics that more people are interested in those cards as well as fun folds. So we might throw one of those in. And so every month I'm going to rotate between the one-sheet wonders, the template, and fun folds or whatever. So we're going to continue. We'll start doing that. So it's going to be a little bit format, but hopefully those templates and sketches, sorry, I've got a mint in my mouth. Those sketches and templates are designed for people that are just starting out. But those of us that are experienced, sometimes it's nice to go back and do something that's less stressful and a little bit easier to do. Plus, it allows us to make multiple cards in a short amount of time. So it comes in handy for the holidays, or if you have a lot of birthday cards to do, if you have a mailing list of people that you send cards to out every month, the one-sheet wonder or the sketches, but the one-sheet wonder more is very beneficial for that. So that's kind of my thought process for the year going forward. If there's something that you would like to see and you don't see, just message me and let me know, and we'll see what we can do about that. All right, so we're going to give it just a few more minutes. It is 12:03, so we'll get, let's see. Yeah, we'll give it a couple more minutes, and then we're going to get started. So let me put my phone on. I'm pretty sure. Let me just check to make sure we're live. That's if I can get my phone to open. I don't know what it is. All of a sudden, my phone has decided black screen. It doesn't want to open. I have to push really hard. And I do have a screen protector, but I've never had this problem before. So I don't know what's going on with it. I told my husband we need to get some new phones anyway, because mine's a what is mine? I think I've got a 12. He's got a 17R or something. That thing's getting ready to go away. They're not going to support that anymore. Anyway, all right, let's make sure that we are live on, yep, we are live on Facebook, so we're good. All right, there we go. All right, I'm just going to do some housekeeping while we're waiting for others to pop in. I do have the chat open, just so if you'd like to let me know you're out there, that's fine. If you don't, that's okay as well. Let's see. For those of you who ordered the paper shares, my order is due in on the 14th of January. So I should be able to get that cut and start getting those out within a day or two of that. Probably 16th. I've already got labels. The labels have been printed for each package of paper to give you the name of the paper as well as the colors that are included. So those are done and ready to get put onto the packaging. And so once that comes in, I'll just get everything cut, get it packaged. So it might be, depending on if I receive it late in the afternoon or early evening on the 14th, I'll start working on the 15th. But I should have those out within a couple of days of that, hopefully. Keep our fingers crossed. One of the other things I thought I would share with you all is that I have a list of all of my favorite stamping, all of my favorite crafting products, as well as things that I use in like for makeup and hair, and then storage things for that are not Stampin' Up related. So it's I have affiliate links with a lot of these companies. So I was going to put in the comments, which I will put in there now. I'm going to put the link in. It's called sit.co, and actually it's sit.co/shall we stamp. I'll put it in the comments. And one of the other things I want to share with you all is that I just published, I'm a publisher. I just published I'm going to stop typing because I can't talk and do both. I just published a notebook through KDP, which is Kindle, and it can be purchased, and then you get a hard copy. It's very inexpensive. It's my first one, and it's called My Notebook for Big Ideas. Now, it could be a journal. It's got 150 pages of lined pages, and then I designed the front and the back cover, and that is now up and available. It's been approved by you can get it through Amazon, and I've got the link. I'll send that to you as well. Well, the link is in one of my kits in Kitco, so you'll be able to look at that. And I'm going to start creating some more journals, and maybe if you have any ideas of things that you want, I'm thinking about doing maybe some planning where you can plan things out, or if you want to sketch something, or there's various things that I can do. But I thought that was fun. I learned that in one of my coaching sessions. So let me put the link up. I'm going to put that in the comments now, so that this takes you to my affiliate. Now, what that means is that I will earn a small commission from your purchase. Now, that does not affect your purchase. It just means that that company that I'm an affiliate for will pay me, and believe me, it's not anything to get rich on. You know, I might get a few cents on something. It might be 75 cents. It might be $1. It might be $2. Who knows? It all varies based on the affiliate that I'm working with. So I'm going to post this right now. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure I've got it in here right. It's kit.co/shall we stamp. So I'm going to put that in there in case y'all want to take a look at some of the affiliates that I work with. In addition, well, let me see why it's not working. Oh, there we go. All right, so I've just posted that link. So take a look at it. I think I've got some makeup in there, and I'm not sure. I don't know if I put that in. No, I have not. I put my shampoo because I'm going back to my natural color, which is now getting gray. But anyway, I've got Stampin' Storage Solutions, other storage solutions, and as well as other things that I use throughout. And so anyways, take a look at that. And if it's something that you're interested in, then I would appreciate any purchases. And my journal is a 6x9, so it would make a great gift for somebody. And I'll keep you posted when I start doing some more. Just a little time consuming because I got to design the actual cover page. So, all right. With that being said, let's get started. We've got people watching, and we are going to start with our fundamental Friday tip, and I'm going to turn sorry, I'm going to turn the camera down, and I need to show you what I used on this one stamp. I just want to show you what I'm using so that because I know you may ask me questions. So let me pull this out, and then we're going to make something using something completely different. So, all right, give me just a second. Let me flip the camera. I got to switch me so that I show up in the right mode there we go. All right, I think that's good. Let me move this over just a tad. Let me adjust my camera. I'll be glad when I get this to where I don't have to keep doing this all the time. But that's okay. It works. It works. Give me 1 second. I'm going to adjust my camera up a little bit. I'm going to push this back. I think that's good. All right, so we're going to do a shadow effect. Y'all have seen that or not? The shadow effect. I watched it on a video a couple of days ago, and I thought, oh, that'd be something really good. So, this is the card that I initially tried to do, and if you can see, and I'm going to use I'll use my scissors to point as my pointer. So, if you can see right there, it looks like a shadow, and along these leaves. So that's what the shadow is. I'm going to show you how we do that. It's I've tried with a couple of different stamps. And one of the things that you need to make sure that the stamp you're going to use is solid fill. Because I did do one that you had to color it in, and that didn't work. So just to let you know. Now, this one, I use the Country, it's the paper. It's been around for a while. I've got it over here. Hang on a second, and I'll show you. I'll tell you what the name is. Not Country Corners, but Country. Oh my goodness gracious. All right. I will let you know because I've got two things on top of it. And then the stamp set for this one I use is the Textured Note stamp set. And I also use the a sentiment right here, a little note of appreciation. So that's what I use to create this, as well as a blending brush. I did a little bit of blending just to try to tone that color down. And then did I use the here? I used the grungy stamp right up here. That's what that one is. So I use that. Okay. And then I also use the Textured Note dies. Now, this stamp is not the used. This is a new one that we used this past Tuesday. But this stamp set is on the last chance list, the bundle. And the stamp set is marked down to from 23 to 16. The dies are available. You can get the bundle. So if you like this may be something that you might want to take a look at. And this is the Textured Notes and dies. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. And then this is the card that I created, but we're going to do something a little bit different. And I think you'll like that one. If we have enough time, then I may go ahead and make this one again, but I think we'll be good. So I'm just going to set this off to the side. Do you think this light on? I don't think we need that. Okay. So on this one, I'm going to work with the Changing Leaves. This is a nice size stamp. So we're going to work with this. And I'm going to use the new last month's product of the month, which is the the True Blue Floral. And this is really pretty. If you like blues, now of course that you can't. I think it may be available still with a $75 purchase, but it's Balmy Blue and Night of Navy. So if you participated in my paper series, you're going to get a little snippet of that as well. That's going to be my thank you gift to you. All right, now let's see. Why is my camera? Hold on a minute. My camera has done something weird. Why is it looking like it's what in the world? Hang on a minute. It looks like my camera has flipped. Hold on a second. It looks like it flipped this going from. Hang on. Did I click a button? It looks like it's gone from hang on a minute. All of a sudden, it looks like it's gone from a landscape mode to look at that. Isn't that weird? Something's weird. Hold on a minute. What in the wild world? Let me see. Did I hit a button? No. That looks like it's gone in like it shrunk down, doesn't it? That is really weird. Oh, here we go. There we go. I don't know what in the world happened there. Okay. All right, let's get started. We're gonna work with those beautiful blue papers I just showed you. And we're gonna start out with a card base of 8.5 by 11. We're gonna score it. This is Night of Navy, and we're gonna score it in half at our 4 1/4. Now I am gonna do this in the portrait mode like that. So I'm taking a piece of the blue paper. Now I cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and attach this on here now. Let me go ahead and do a bone folder on this to get that to lay flat. And this is the back side of that paper, but I'm going to use this side. But it is really pretty paper. All right, so let's get this started here. All right, and I can get my glue to work. And I went to order this the other day, and the green glue is out. And I think let me open it. This is my last one that I have. Thank goodness I have my little mini bottles for my classes. I can kind of take from those. All right, so let's just put some adhesive on here, and then I'm going to go through the steps of doing the shadow technique. That's really neat. But you need to make sure you have a stamp that will work. Okay, so we're going to lay this on here. This is 4 by 5 1/4. All right, and let me just pull that up. Okay, now I used the dies, the textured note dies. I used the second from the largest, and I cut that on a piece of balmy blue, and then it's got the stitching around the outside edges. Okay. Now, before I attach that, I've got a piece of 2 by 5 inches. This is another piece of paper within this paper pack, and I'm going to lay that right there just to give it just something, just add a little darkness to it, just so we're just going to make it look like it's got a little bit of a background within the background. So we're going to glue that right here. I'm just going to leave a small border because I want to be able to add this. And that's going to be popped up, and it's going to lay just like that. All right. Okay. So the first thing that we need to do is we're going to ink up. We're going to use our Whisper White craft pad, and this can be found in the online store. Now, this is a very thick ink. You got to be careful because it can get a little thick and blotchy. So we're going to take the stamp set, and this stamp is from the Changing Leaves, which I think I just showed you. And this should still be current, so that these are good. This is a good one, and this would be a good one that you can use. So if you have flowers that are already filled in, that maybe you don't need to fill in the color, but maybe just on the leaf itself, that would be good. If you find, I'm going to move this up a little bit. But you want to make sure you've got something that you don't have to add additional color. Okay. So I'm going to lay this in here, and I'm going to get this inked up with all the white on it. Okay. And all right. So there we go. We've got our white. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to place that white on this piece of balmy blue cardstock. And it may go off the edges some, which is okay. So I'm going to go ahead and push that down. And of course, with this ink being a lot thicker, I'm going to let it sit for a few minutes and give it some good pressure to make sure that we're getting a good coverage. So I'm going to let that sit for just a minute. I'm going to close this up. And while that's sitting, and I'm going to put some more pressure on it in just a minute. Let me get one of my tools out. This is a tool that helps for adding pressure, and you can use this. Mainly, people use it with your Stampin' Cut machine. So if you're trying to get something, I'm sorry, not your Stampin' Cut, but if you use the Misty, and you close the lid. This helps you to get that image. So this helps instead of trying to put your hands on it to get that good, make sure the ink goes through really clear. Okay. So we're going to pull that off. All right. So now we have, and of course it's okay. Or you can see right there, I missed a little bit, but I'm not going to worry about that. We'll clean this later. Now, since it takes a few minutes for the craft ink to dry, I'm going to use the soup gun. It's going to be a little bit loud. I'm going to just wave it, but we're on. So let me just, I'm going to put it on low, and we're just going to run it over it just to make sure that it dries clearly. I mean, not clear, but dries before we start this. All right. So you'll see where I didn't put enough pressure on the this and then the one on the right. But we're just going to heat this up and make sure it's dry before we start. Because we're going to stamp over this in balmy blue. No, we're going to stamp over it navy, night of navy. We're going to make it all color blend. Oh, hey, Patty, how are you? All right, so we'll do that. And that's too dry. So again, I just didn't get enough there, but that's okay. We're doing the ghosting technique. All right, so we've got that. So I need to clean my white ink off, and I'm going to, because it's a little bit thicker, I'm going to, let me move this up. I'm going to spray the ink on. I could use my, actually I'm going to spray it on the ink itself and then scrub it on the scrub. Usually I'll use the chamois because that tends to work a little bit easier. Doesn't mess up my cleaning pad as much. That's okay. You just have to wash it. All right, we've got that nice and clean. Okay, we're going to take this, get this out of the way. All right, now we're going to come in with the navy. All right, and then I'm going to ink this up with our night of navy. We're going to make sure we get a good coverage on our ink. And we may have time to do the other card. We'll see. Probably do. All right, so we're going to stamp that over top. Now, the hard part is, now this one's not so bad because we can actually see through the stamp. But if you're doing a red rubber, which is the one that I initially started to do, that makes it a little bit more difficult because you can't see through the red rubber. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up, but offset just a small amount so that it gives you that shadow effect, okay? And it may show a little bit and may not show a little bit. So it's just, we're just going to go with it and see what happens. So I'm trying to line up down here the stem. I'm trying to get the stem to offset just a little bit. And then I'm turning my leaves to offset a little bit as well so that we can get a nice look of shadow. So let's go, let's push down. Now I have a feeling I just covered up one of the leaves, but that's okay. Again, so we're going to push down on this. I'm going to use my little block again. We're going to give this some good pressure and make sure that we get good pressure to make sure our ink covers this. But it just makes a really nice look. And again, for those that are just joining, you make sure you've got a stamp that's got the design inside where it will hold the ink. So like a flower, that's not where you have to color it in, but it's a flower that has the ink on it, because you'll see why. Because I tried to do it where I had to go back and color and it didn't work. All right, so let's hopefully this works. All right, there we go. Looks like I knew what I was doing. Now, can you see the shadow? See right there, the shadow? Isn't that clever? There's a little shadow there, and you can lightly see one right here. Now this one, it's got some shadowing down here at the bottom. So that's the shadowing technique. Isn't that neat? I'm gonna bring it up a little closer so y'all can see that. Let me see if that light helps. Come on. Whoops, I'm hitting the wrong button. Does that help? There we go. Can you see the shadowing? Isn't that neat? Clever idea, huh? So you see the shadowing going all the way around our flower, with the exception of that one, and then up our stem. All right, so that's our image. So now I'm going to some of the night of navy, and you know what? I think I'm going to do balmy. I don't want any darkness, but I think I want to add a little bit, just kind of ground it So let's do some balmy blue. And let me get a piece of scrap paper so I can tap off. I'm going to tap off some of that. I just want to do a little bit here. I am going to put a sentiment, but I just want to come in and just do a little bit of shadowing just so that the cardstock kind of helps to ground. So we'll just take some blue, and I'm tapping it off camera, and just come up in between a little bit and just do a little bit of blending around these edges, just to kind of not dull, but to not make it look so stark. All right, so I'm tapping off on a piece of scrap paper off to the side. So I'm just coming around the outside of the leaf, just to kind of take some of that balminess out, if that makes sense, okay? All right, so there's that. We're going to close that up, move our sponge away. All right. So now we're going to stamp our sentiment. And let me grab that because it's over in this other pile that we may be using. And I think I think we're going to tie a bow. Maybe we should do a white bow. Let's see. I used this one for the other card, so I think we'll probably have time to do that. Let me grab some white. I think white will probably look nice. We're going to tie a bow. I'm just going to add a bow down here, and then we're going to stamp our sentiment. So let's go ahead and tie a bow. I'm just using our white twine or thread, whichever. And I'm just going to do it in a single. I'm not going to double it up. And I'm going to leave it a little bit bigger so that we can make sure that it can be seen. And let me grab I reorganized my drawers, and now I got to remember where everything is. All right, so let's move this out of the way. And we're going to get a glue dot. Did you know where those are? They're right here. And I'm going to put this probably put it right about here, and then I'm going to put the sentiment over top of this. And I'm going to move them over here just a tad. Y'all find that when you make your bows, sometimes your thread twists. All right. Okay, so we'll do that. So let's get we're going to use a glue dot. There he is right there. And we'll take that one off. And then I usually, since it's a bow, I just try to make it look a little smaller. And then I'm going to pop it right down there and put that right about there. And then here we're going to stamp our sentiment. And I'm going to do this let's do it in the Night of Navy. Move my scissors out of the way. I think that was help. And this is the one from the texture note guys that said a little note of appreciation. And you can make it a birthday card or thinking of you card or whichever you prefer. And I think that's good. And this is cut with the note of texture dies, and this is the smallest one, just to let you know. All right, so we're going to stamp that. Get up here. All right, let's see if we can get this straight. And we'll stamp that right about there. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Almost perfect. That looks good. All right, so we're going to move this out of the way. All right, now we're going to add this. And I'm going to put this on top, and I'm going to kind of layer it so this is a little bit longer on this side, just because. And I'm going to just glue this down, and then we'll pop this up on dimensional. This has a little bit much glue in it. All right, hang on. Get that in there. So we'll just add that, just overlaying it a little bit. And I want this to just be a little bit longer. Hang on a second. Let me pull that up. It's something different. So we're going to do like that. All right, now we're going to add this to our card. And I'm going to pop that up on dimensionals, and I'm going to place it right about here. So let's get the dimensional. And then I'm also going to pop the card up itself on the base of the actual card. Okay, so I'm going to put 3 dimensionals on this. All right. And we'll get that out of the way. We'll just place this right about here. Get that little tag right down there on that tail. Isn't that pretty? And then let's pop these up. So I'm going to add 6 dimensionals. We'll put 1 in each corner. And then I always put the two a little bit more towards the center just to kind of help fold it up. All right, so that, and then we just gonna grab these off, and then we'll be ready to pop this on our card. All right, so let's take that. Ooh, want to go the right way. All right, so I'm going to lay it over this way, just enough so I've got, try to make it even and then pop it down like that. All right, so there's our card. Now we could add some bling to this. The inside, we're going to add our white piece, and then I did have enough of a scrap that I can put that down. I'm going to put the same one that we used, so it coordinates, so it carries over from the front to the back of the card, or the inside of the card, I should say. So we're going to pop this little guy. I think I'll turn it this way. No, let's turn it this way. Let's put the little fluty thing. All right, so let's lay that right there. And that's 4 inches by, I think it's half an inch. All right, so there we go there. Go there. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to add this to the inside of our card. And you can always, you know, if you wanted to take your image and just do a light, you know, stamp off several times and just do like a shadowy type look where it's it doesn't stand out. You can always see that on the inside and the background. And then when you write your note, it would be in the background with a real light in it. All right, so there's our card that we did using the shadow technique. Isn't that neat? What do y'all think about that? I thought that's pretty daggone clever. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll do the second one. I'm gonna put this is the one that we're gonna make now. So this is the one. Now this one I had a little bit of a hard time, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so let's do that. Great. Give me 1 second. Let me move all my stuff. I need to get the items that we need over here. And we're gonna use some pretty peacock on this one. And then we are using the Country Wood designer paper that is still available as well, just to let you know. Patty. All right, so let's do one more card. We'll see how we can go with this one. So this one's going to be a little different because it's red rubber, and this is the one that we can't see through. So give me 1 minute. Let me just move some of this stuff out of the way. I am using, like I mentioned earlier, the scrungy stamp from the Gears and Textures stamp, okay? All right, we're going to get that out of the way. Oh, look, I got 2 things of glue dot. All right, now this one we're going to do in gray smoky slate, I should say. And we're going to work with, let me get my envelope out of the way. Let me clean off my stamp, my sentiment stamp, because we're going to use that again. I probably should have made it a birthday card, but that's okay. We'll make it. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and try to find a birthday card right now. Okay, actually, I do need to get, what are we going to do? We're going to sponge this in peacock. So let me grab another quick sponge. We'll do a little bit of sponging. Okay, so let's see what we can do on this one. Move that out of the way. All right, so we've got our smoky slate. Again, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And again, we're using that Country Wood stamp, paper, designer paper. And this one, I'm using the wood grain, which has got the gray in it. So I thought that would be nice. And then I'm going to use this pool party part on here. Now this one, okay, this one I cut at 5.5 by 4 1/4. This one I have the edges showing of the cardstock. So I'm going to do it this way just to show what this is going to look like. We'll give it a try, okay? All right, so we're going to glue this down. Now you could use this side if you chose to. So you can choose whatever paper that you want to work with, depending on what your image is, right? All right, so we're going to glue this down. This is going to go on the full card base. So let's get that on there, get that lined up. It's a little card once you get the hang of it. And then this one, we're going to put just like that. Now I'm using Pretty Peacock because I was going to do the pool party, but it's so light of a color that I didn't really think I like the peacock better. That's why. Okay, so we're going to lay this right here just to give it another add a pop of color. And then the wood grain will also go with our piece of crumb cake, which I did run through the textured notes die. All right, so now this one, we're going to do a little bit of some of that grungy look. I'm going to stamp off because I don't think I want it this dark. So let me grab my paper. And all of a sudden, my desk has become quite crowded. And we do need this. All right, so I'm going to just do a little bit of grunginess here. I'm going to stamp that off so it's not quite as dark. And then we'll add another round of that and probably just kind of bring it down. Let's see, we'll just put it like that to give it something. And then we'll put a little bit towards the bottom, which isn't much. I'm going to come off a little bit. Again, whatever you all want to do, it's your design. All right, so let's leave that open. Okay, now we're going to take our stamp. Now this is where you have to, you're going to have to watch because using the red rubber is going to make it a little bit more difficult in getting it to be off, because you want to offset your card, right? So we want to offset. So I'm going to ink up my white on my red rubber stamp. All right, so we're going to get that on there. So I've got my white. All right, some of it on the inside is a little bit whiter, which is fine. No big deal. All right, I'll just close this up. Now we're going to pop that down on here. And I'm going to take this one. And I think I'm going to go this way. So I'm going to pop it right there. And we're just going to give it some good pushes. Push down. I think on this one it's smaller. I can probably do it with my hands. But I want to make sure we get all that white craft ink transferred to our crumb cake. So you do want to let it sit for a couple of seconds or more and give it some good pressure so that we make sure we get all of it on there. Whereas on this one, we had a little spot, right? So we didn't quite have as much on here on that side, but it's okay. It still looks fine. All right, I'm going to move this out of the way. All right, let's see if we've got that on there. Good. I think I've got enough pressure, hopefully. There we go. All right, so you can see the white, right? Let me wipe this off because we've got to clean this again. And then I'm going to use the chamois this time. Because the red rubber, it allows me to get inside. And then we're going to ink this up in the Pretty Peacock. Okay. In the meantime, we're going to let that sit and dry for a minute. And then I'll get the heat tool out. All right. So the chamois, if you don't have one, if you purchase one through me, through my online store, then I will send you a case that you can put it in with a little Simply Chamois. Well, this is an old cover, but I'll send you one that has a cover. Okay. Now, let's get our heat tool. And let's just do a quick little dry. Just make sure it's dry enough. So we'll just let that dry just a little bit. I've got this on high. Just enough to, and we can turn it down a little bit on low. Just get it so where we know that it's dry. Okay. Now this is a smaller stamp, so just keep in mind this is the type of stamp that you want. You want to have the images that are going to be shown. So if it's an open stamp set, you don't want to use that one. So for instance, I tried, well, like this one. I didn't use this one, but this one right here would not work because it's got all this openness, so you wouldn't see anything. Okay, the color would only take off where the lines are, the veins. All right, so we've got that. Now here's going to be the trick. So this is we'll see how this works. And this will show you if you have a clear stamp, clear would probably be much better because we are going to have a hard time trying to line up the leaf, but it's okay. I just want to show you if it works, it does. If it doesn't, it's no big deal. All right, so here we go. So, and then I'll show you the one that we did earlier. Now I'm going to, and again, because we can't see through it like we did, right? So I'm going to line up my bottom of my stem, and I'm hoping that I can see where my stamp is and I can get a little bit offset and where it's not, because I know this one right here is this leaf right there. So I'm just going to use that as a guide, and hopefully I can get enough on here that we can get the shadow effect. So wish me luck. We'll see if this one's going to work. So here we go. Once I push it down, it's too late. That's all right. All right. All right, not too bad, not too bad. It's got a lot more shadowing, but see how that looks? So it does give it that effect of a shadow, okay? So you can not put as much white, but really once you get everything on here and decorated, I think it's gonna be fine. That one actually turned out a lot better than I thought it would. So these are a little bit, the red rubber is a little bit more difficult to use because you can't see through it to do your placement, okay? All right, so we're good. So now we're going to do the same thing. I am going to, now on this one, I'm going to stamp the same sentiment. I looked up a small birthday one. Actually, give me 1 second. I think we might have something in this new banner thing. These are small. This is, and these are new stamps that came in the new catalog. And I think this one is going to work because there is a happy birthday. So let's just pull that out and we'll make this a happy birthday card. All right, so let's do, now what I did for this, just to let y'all know, and I thought about this, I stamped the images on a piece of paper so I know what they are. So that means I got to glue it on here. I think the next time I'm going to ink this up and just stamp it right on here and I don't have to worry about losing a piece of paper. So in the meantime, I'm just going to glue that down so that shows me the stamps that are in this set. So if one is missing, I'll be able to find out which one it is. All right, so we are going to use the happy birthday. Let me find it. Oh, happy birthday right here. So let's do that. We're going to make this a birthday card. And, all right, so there's that. Now, I did put a link, if y'all are just joining, in the comments. I put a link in there to a link to where I keep all of my affiliate links to. And I have got a book that I just published. It's a notebook or a planner that I'm so excited. It's a lined planner or a lined journal. And I designed the cover. It's 150 pages, and it's through my Amazon. It's through Amazon. But I did put the link in the comment. It's kit.code/shall-we-stamp, and then you can see all of my affiliate links of businesses that I work with, from crafting storages to cutting things that I like, things that Stampin' Up doesn't carry. And then I also put a link to that notebook, and I'll be making some planner, journal, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to be making some more. I may change the title a little bit and change the colors, but I thought it'd be kind of neat to do something like that. So, all right, now this is a little bit smaller than I would prefer, but we're going to make this a happy birthday. And I'm stamping it in the Pretty Peacock. That'll work. All right, and then this book, we may add a little bit of some bling to this. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add some glue, and we're going to glue this down on our piece of coordinating. Now, this is the piece of that paper that's just a little bit darker. Sorry, it's a piece that's further down in the page, but that's fine. So I'm going to I'm going to place this on here and offset a little bit. And then before I move and do anything further, we're going to do a little bit of blending. And again, I just want to do a little bit to kind of ground the crumb cake with the pretty peacock. So I'm just going to pat off because I don't want to have too much on here, but I just want to come in and give it a little bit of swirl of peacock just to kind of take, just really kind of trying to dull, I guess, this color here. Not a lot, just enough. So we're just going to go around with our pretty peacock. We'll just do a little bit more right in this area and then right down here. I'm just doing a really light touch. I'm not doing, not putting a lot of pressure on this. Okay, so that kind of helps to ground it, if you will. All right, let's get this out of the way. And again, this is just another unique idea that you can use for making your cards with this shadow effect. All right, so we're going to do another bow. So let's do that. Put him in the background. And then we can add some embellishments to this if we choose to do so. I got my nails done on Tuesday. And I always take my nail polish in. And I've got these black circles that are popping up. I don't know if y'all can see that because I have acrylic nails. And so I got to call them. I called this morning, but they didn't answer the phone because they were busy. And tell them they need to redo them. I don't know what caused that, but it's not on my toes. Of course, there's no acrylic on my toes. So then you wonder, right, what caused it. It's not on my left hand. It's just on my right hand, which is kind of weird. All right, so I've got me a bow, and I'm going to tie him. I'm going to put him kind of in the same area like I did the other one. We're going to grab a glue dot. Hang on. Hold on. I put my glue dots in here. Oh, there they are. You know, you don't know when you're crafting, you take stuff out and then you put it somewhere and you can't find it, and then you got to go search around for it. It happens to me quite often. All right, I'm going to stick a little glue dot right there and cover it up with with my bow and put that right there. Get my glue dot. I always try to put the glue dot under the bow so it doesn't stick to anything else. All right, now this guy we're going to pop up on dimensionals like we did the others. So let's do that. We'll put we'll just put 2 on here. I don't think we need 3. Get that out of the way. And we can just put that right. Let's do that. Let's put it right about here. Let's move this piece out just a little bit. All right, so we're going to place that right there. All right, and then we're going to take this, flip it over, and add our pieces. And I've got to do some snipping. Oh, we got one here. And then I'm going to snip my sides because we have used up all of those. We went to a concert last night at our art center. And it was oh geez, Louise, oh my gosh, what are they? Fiddles. The Fiddles and 6 women called Sister Sadie. Oh my gosh. Oh, bluegrass. You talk about good. These women were amazing. They have several records that they've recorded. One was named twice entertainer of the year for, Pippin and Grennan, you know what I mean? They were awesome. I've got to look them up and download some of the music. It was just so much fun, and it was just unbelievable. Very talented ladies. And the oldest one is 54, so she's like the mother to the others. All right, so here's our top piece. I put the dimensionals on the back. So we're just going to place this right here on the card. And again, I want to leave, this is Pool Party, but the colors do coordinate with each other. And we put that on there. And then, of course, on the inside, I'll put a piece of white with a strip of that paper. So there's how we do the shadowing effect. So I hope this is something is new to you. When I saw this the other day, I had never seen this technique. I just came across it with Lisa Freeman, one of her videos on YouTube, and she lives in Chesapeake, Virginia, where I'm from, Virginia Beach. So we weren't, Chesapeake's like, depending on where you live in Virginia Beach, it's probably a 20-minute drive. It's not far. All right, so here are the two cards that we did. I hope you've enjoyed this and learned something new. So I'm going to bring those up one more time. This is using the Product of the Month January's blue paper and Balmy Blue, Night of Navy, and Night of Navy cardstock. And then we've just pulled that all forward into the inside. But can you see the shadows? Isn't that cool looking? Right around that flower or the leaf. Isn't that pretty? It's just, again, pretty. You don't see it, and then you do see it, and you're like, oh my God, that's really cool. And then here's this one that we just did. So this one you can see a little bit better. It's on the, I think crumb cake works well because it's dark, so that white does pop out a little bit. It does look nice on, it's not as obvious on the balmy blue, but I think it looks really nice. So there we go, our two techniques for the day, showing you how we can do this outline or the ghost effect or the shadow effect, whatever you want to call it. All right, so I hope you all learned something from this today. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with me on your Friday lunchtime if you're from the East Coast or actually from Midwest. Okay, no. So thank you again. I greatly appreciate you spending your time with me this Friday afternoon. I will see you next Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. We'll do another Facebook Live. I'm not sure what we'll do, but we'll come up with something. All right, everybody. Thank you so much again. I greatly appreciate you taking time out of your Friday afternoon to watch this shadow technique. And I will see you later. If you have any questions or need anything, please reach out. And you can message me from Facebook or leave me a comment, YouTube, or message me either way. All right, everybody. Thanks again. You can find the supplies that I used today in my online store, and there is a link below the video as well. All right. Thanks again. See you all. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye now.